Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany for your Dead on Dave Live viewer questions. And it's the show where we talk about all the good stuff that's happening in the world, YouTube, life, whatever the case may be. And there's a couple of big things going on that we're going to get into. And of course, I don't do this alone. I got my good friend, my buddy, my partner, the one and only C-Man. What's up, buddy?
Ayo, not much, man. How you doing?
Is Ayo going to become your new thing? Is that your new like sign on?
I don't know. Do you like it or not?
I think
well,
it's cool. If I say that I don't like it, you're going to do it more often. If I say I do like it, you'll probably stop it right now. So I'm going
to do it either way. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
actually,
yeah,
I guess.
Because I'm an old soul. I like Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
And so I'm like 3 3/4 stars. So yeah, it makes my nipples hard. It does.
Well, it'll either be A or AO. So either Fonzie or Ed McMahon. Just depends on how I'm feeling.
Fair enough. You know what? It's age appropriate for this show. So I'll take it. So I don't know what you did with your day. I'm assuming you slept pretty damn late and then you got
No,
up.
I actually I got up a couple hours early today. I got Battlefield 1.
What time did you get up?
Well, I'm up I usually wake up about 2 p.m.
So you got up at noon.
Eastern. No, close to noon. It was like 11, I'd say. So, but yeah, I played Battlefield 1 with Will, otherwise known as the Gaming Fault, and Tambo Computing, and we had a good time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I spend my day with my family playing Pokemon Go because we play Pokemon Go every day. Would you like to know where sometimes playing Pokemon Go every day can get you in trouble, C-Man?
In a church.
In Russia, yes. In a church in Russia, it can lead...
Well, I was a little too specific, sorry.
A little too specific. But you know what? Maybe not specific enough for Russian YouTube vlogger, Mr. Ruslan Sokolovsky. This guy here, he is facing... In fact, his trial started today. He was arrested, and his trial started today for a potential 7.5-year prison sentence.
Which is bullshit.
Well, it is, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. Inciting religious hatred is the crime that he was arrested for and now standing trial for. Now, look, before we talk about any of the specifics and what I might think about it and why I think that this guy's kind of half a frittata for doing what he did, I want to say this. Unequivocally, or unequivocally, whatever the right term of that word is, phrasing of that word is, that's the way I'm meaning it, because there is no way, shape, or form that this type of oppression, religious or any other human rights of any type, should be tolerated anywhere in the world. But the reality is, in a lot of places, not in a minority of places, but in a lot of places on this planet, you simply do not have full freedom of expression, whether it be religious, sexuality, many other different ways. Russia is one of those places where you basically can't express anything. It's the fucking wild bunch in Russia, essentially.
Yeah.
And Ruslan Sokolovsky is finding that out right now. You see, he went in to a church, and no, he didn't. It wasn't just one that he found along the way, and he didn't drop down to his knees and begin to pray. No, instead he whipped out his phone and started playing Pokemon Go while he was vlogging, and he made a whole lot of cracks about religion and Jesus, one of them being I would love to have caught the most rare Pokemon of all, Jesus, but as we all know, he doesn't exist. So he was making anti-religious comments during his video. He's an atheist, okay? He's a known atheist. That's a lot what of his content is about on YouTube. It is who he is, okay? The interesting thing about this charge religious hatred, inciting religious hatred, it's the exact same charge that Pussy Riot was arrested and jailed for over 2 years for collectively. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You know, they will get you for this, especially if there is something to it. There wasn't much to the Pussy Riot situation, and that was over sexuality, but it still infringes on religious rights because it's all tied in Russia. I mean, welcome to communism, bitch. And then with this, because he's an atheist, going and saying these things that are anti-religious, inciting religious hatred, there is actually more here, and there's a very good chance he's going to do more than Pussy Riot did. Maybe 5, maybe the whole damn prison term. And here's the reason why. It's not right. It's not right. But these are the rules of his country that he lives in. Rules that he knows very well. And rules that he is deciding to, for the sake of YouTube, I mean, it's not even all that politically related of what he's doing. He is going to incite. He's going to piss off, and then to not only go there and piss the people off who are there praying and worshiping, but to upload it and just give the middle finger to the Russian government is not the smartest thing in the world. And I don't want to be one of these guys who says, well, he gets what he gets. But man, if you see a sign that says piranha in swimming pool, don't fucking swim, and you jump in, well, Jesus Christ, if you jump out and go, well, these fucking piranha, what?
Yeah,
no.
But a church shouldn't ever be a piranha in a swimming pool situation, because most religious teachings are supposed to welcome and love everybody. So that's where it's
but this is about politics. But this is
still enough. It revolves around what I would call being disrespectful in a church, which, worst case scenario, you get excommunicated for that. I don't think this kid, who has already spent some months in prison and is now on house arrest, should be facing a potential 7 years all over.
I agree with you. There's no question that he shouldn't be facing, but that's the thing. This isn't just a crime against the church, Catholicism. This is a crime that is against government. So it's a little bit different. It's not just about being excommunicated. This is about expression being forbidden by a government that you know that you fall under. So I'm not saying that it's right. And I thought I clarified that pretty well. It's not right. Yeah. It's absolutely wrong that this is happening to him. But if you know where you live and you know there is piranha in that pool, well, maybe it's best sometimes don't fucking go swimming, or just leave. Get the fuck out. You want to express that bad, but sometimes when you incite and you don't have something behind you that could potentially get you out of it, if there is not something there that could work with you and help actual further a cause and maybe make something better, nothing about this, all the attention that it may or may not get, which I got to admit, I'm a little bit ashamed to say, there's not a lot going around about this story. A few news outlets are picking it up, but it's not getting a whole hell of a lot of attention. And I certainly think it needs to get more than it is, because this is wrong. But the fact is, this isn't some small little country. This is Russia. Russia that has been doing this shit for a very long time. Things aren't going to change, man. You know, it's just not in Russia. It ain't happening. You can't express yourself. It's part of communism. And it's fucking wrong. It's awful. Mm-hmm. It's the point, but the thing that it comes down to is, how much responsibility does it come on the individual to know what to do and what not to do? You want to keep your ass out of jail, or do you want to go fucking poke the goddamn beehive? Go poke that hornet's nest and find out what happens. This dude's about to.
Well, even though I think it's ridiculous that the punishment is what it is, but if it's the Russian law that you can't do shit like that in the church, then he touched the hot stove, so his hand's gonna get burnt.
It's like, if there's a situation where you're like, Pussy Riot went specifically to protest. They knew what they were doing. It was a full-on protest. It was meant to incite people to get on board of what their cause was, which was, openly being gay. That's what they were trying to accomplish. This guy really doesn't make any political statement. He just wants to go fucking fuck with people. And this church had a little bit more significance to the country. The last czar of Russia died on this spot on those grounds. So it holds even more significance. So for me, when you're talking about an atheist, you're talking about a guy that is going to a specific location that has historical significance as well as religious significance to a country that does not allow religious opposition expression. I mean, what do you expect to happen? And then on top of all of that, to upload it to public domain so the whole world can see it. Any of your enemies could easily report you to the Russian government. I mean, damn, that's pretty fucking stupid.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't want to call this guy stupid, but it's pretty fucking dumb, man. I mean, this is a sticking your dick in a light socket situation if I've ever heard one. You know, it should not.
He knew what he was doing.
Exactly. He knew what he was doing, so he knew the ramifications. He knew the repercussions, but he's still acting like, what? How is this happening? You know, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. I got a feeling he's going to end up doing some serious time. I really do.
Which, again, bullshit, but well, I can't really say much more on it. Like, I think for what he did, it just doesn't make sense. No, I could understand.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, this is somewhat of a side note, but I mean, it's somewhat on topic, but this is where when people cry about like the oppression and hate that we have in the U.S., it's like, okay, look at shit like this over in Russia, where you can't even, make, I don't want to use the word satire. That's probably the wrong word to use, but a YouTube video, and you get put in prison for 7 years. We have separation of church and state, so you probably could go to a church here and legally just go in and be like, okay.
Oh, you absolutely can. We have those rights that protect you from it. Now, other things may happen while you're trying to do such things, like a cop might beat you down or anything like that. I mean, it really, it all depends on the situation, but you have that right to do that in our world, Kirsty Graham in the chat says, the thing is, Dave, if you're living under that kind of oppression, there comes a point where you need to take what power you have into your own hands and try to protest somehow. That's not what he was doing, Kirsty. That's the thing. He wasn't making a point of trying to bring eyeballs onto this, even though that's what he would later go on to state. But that's because he's getting free. Who's representing him? Fucking one of those Habitat for Humanity type deals. Fucking one of the big players in the pro bono work of human rights that do it. Amnesty International is defending him. It's like that's what he's going to have to say afterwards. But it didn't seem like that was really the case when it happened. If he was making a political statement and he was trying to, then really you can't complain about the ramifications because you know what's happening, but you're willing to take that punishment, much like Pussy Riot did when they took their punishment and then they went and spoke out and they got the fuck out of there, as far as I know, and spoke out against it. That's making a political point. What this guy's doing is not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, he's just kind of being a smart ass, basically.
It seems like he's being a smart ass atheist Russian vlogger, and he got fucking hemmed up, and it's unfortunate. But it sucks. It sucks. But I always come back to it, man. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're getting into. You got to be willing to accept the possible repercussions of your actions. And I cannot say this enough. This should not happen. But these are the laws of his country. They are the laws. Unless we're going to go in there and here's the thing. The funny thing is everybody's going to talk about how fucked up these laws are and they shouldn't exist and all of this stuff. But you know what that type of talk ultimately leads to is taking down the standing government. And that takes a coup or military action, which everybody seems to be against. Yet the only way to get to get a government to change these type of sanctions. These are not things that just happen in legislation. Like, okay, well, you know what would be great if you would do this for us? We as the United States of America, we as Great Britain, we as this and Germany and all these, we would really appreciate it if you start giving religious expression and political expression and sexuality expression to your people. Russia's not going to go, that's not how it works. They're going to say, go fuck. By the way, we're going to fucking point some missiles at you now. Have a good time. Or maybe we're going to put one of our warships into one of your international waters. That's how this shit works. It's provocation. It never goes as simple as, well, you know you shouldn't do this. Because they know they shouldn't do this. They're doing it because they want to hold power over their people. That's what the whole fucking thing's about. So what do you make of this entire situation, C-Man?
Well, Russia's government needs to chill the fuck out a little bit. That's it's probably the first thing I could say about that situation. It's kind of ironic that they have
they need to chill, homie. That's what I think, dog.
They have what? They Putin, they call him their president, right?
Yes.
And then but then they're a fucking communist nation. Like that doesn't
Well, I mean, even communism can have a president. I mean, look, he was about as elected as fucking as Hitler was, you know. I mean,
Hitler was elected.
Well, how did he retain his fucking power?
Well,
when you're the only name on the ballot, it's not really being elected, is it? You know, it's like pick me or everybody gets punished. That's not really an election.
Oh yeah, that's what Putin did.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's fairly insane, but still. I digress. I forgot where I was going after that because I misspoke with Hitler and I lost my train of thought. Big shout out to everybody in chat. Kirsty Grand, Real Talk to Metaphor Messiah, who's got his new songs out. They are killing it. 32 bars, part 1 and part 2. Part 2 will be out later in the week. Part 1 is out. Straight
that
fire.
That was awesome.
No
that
bullshit.
Was awesome. Check it out.
Yeah, there's no chorus, no nothing. It's just balls to the wall, just hitting. And that's what he does. And it's brilliant. Make sure you check that out over on his channel, Real Talk to Metaphor Messiah. It is absolutely amazing. Check it out. Check it out. The other thing that we want to talk about today is, of course, YouTube AgeGate. Hashtag YouTube AgeGate. Because all day yesterday, Keemstar, Killer Keemstar, went ahead
DJ
Killer Keemstar was touting that he had
Calm down, Leafy.
Had a huge story.
That sounded more like Leafy than Keemstar.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. He had a huge story that he was touting and he was scared about doing it and all of this stuff, right? And then the story gets released. And it turns out to be more of a rumor than an actual full-fledged story. There's not a lot of meat and potatoes to it. Keemstar goes on to tell a story that he was told about a YouTuber who had a conversation with a drunk YouTube employee at a big convention. I think PAX, correct?
Yeah, it was PAX.
It was PAX. At a PAX after party this year where the YouTuber makes a joke and the YouTube employee says, well, you know what's funny about that? There is no glitch. There's a program that is scouring age stuff. And if you're under a certain age for content that is not deemed appropriate for your age, it's getting unsubbed. And we're rolling it out on a small scale. And then eventually we're going to roll it out on a massive scale. And nobody's going to know about it. We're just fucking doing it. Essentially, that's the story that Keemstar told. There's no corroboration to the story at this point. He says he has more hard evidence today, some leaked emails. We'll see what comes of those. I'm not 100% sure yet. The story is interesting because parts of it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The big one being, why would YouTube have such a nefarious, secretive scheme to do something that would hurt essentially everybody, including them, by the way, still not operating at a profit. They still lose money on YouTube. You got to remember, YouTube brings in $4 billion a year, and that is 6% of the Google monies of the revenue. 6%. And they operate at a loss, YouTube does, but they do it for influence. So to me, to fuck with your influencers, fucking with their money, fucking with their subs, doesn't seem like a very good idea, especially when your whole plan can be completely wiped out by simply changing the age on your profile.
A couple clicks and you destroy YouTube's big extravagant plan. Just a couple clicks.
Just a couple of clicks. Once the story gets out that it's actually happening, everybody can go and simply bypass the entire situation. Yes, it violates the terms of services, but who the fuck cares at that point?
Yeah.
Because it's probably a dummy account anyway that you're using just to watch the stuff. So the whole situation to me has some problems. Now, that doesn't mean it's not true, because this unsub thing is real. I've seen it. It's happened to me. I get unsubbed from channels all the time. In fact, I was just unsubbed from Vega's channel last week. Could not tell you why. I just was. It happens all the time.
You didn't meet the age requirements.
Right, yes. And
they saw your channel and was like, oh, this dude's a big fucking man-child. We need to make sure he's watching appropriate content.
But we're both adults, so I don't know how it'd fall into that. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of insane when you think about it in those terms. But this whole situation, there just seems something off about it. Even if he's right, it just doesn't make sense from like any type of logical thinking point. It's like, because it can be so easily circumvented, what would be the point of all the cloak and dagger? Just go ahead and announce it. Yeah, people are going to complain, but here's the problem with if this is true. And this is the big part. This is the only part that matters. If YouTube is changing policies that affect people's subscriptions, even if it was only short term, and they're not telling us about it, it essentially is a big fuck you to all the creators, because as much as this platform, I love this platform. I love YouTube. I don't have to pay them a dime. They pay me. I don't care that it's not that much. I'm getting paid to do something, and I don't have to do it. When I was with Podbean and Podomatic, I had to pay them monthly fees. I don't have to pay shit here. I just do my thing, and that's it. And I'm very appreciative for that. However, YouTube isn't entertaining shit. They're not entertaining anybody. Their creators are. We are. And if we can't trust that they're having our best interest at least a little bit, tiny bit in mind, then why the fuck do we need to stay? I know there's not another platform that can handle us in the exact same way that YouTube does, but there are other places that people can go, or just simply just say it's not worth it anymore. Because if you don't have a reason to continue to be an influence and make the people that are in charge of you and the platform money, and making yourself money in the same time, then what are you going to stick around for? There's got to be some level of trust. If YouTube goes and rolls this out and tells everybody what's happening, yeah, people are going to backlash on it. People are going to complain about it, but at least there's a dialogue going, you know? At least there's something going on here. At least there is a conversation. At the very least, we have that ability to make changes to our content if we so choose to. If like, okay, hey, I understand this new age restriction thing is going on, and I might get a whole bunch of unsubs because my content isn't suitable for my key demographic. So maybe I got to make some changes to try and stay afloat and stay within the parameters here. Maybe some people want to do that. Well, we can't make those changes if we don't know the policy changed. So that's where the problem comes in. What do you make of age gate, Mr. C-Man?
Well, when you told me to watch the drama alert earlier and I checked it out, I was thinking to myself, okay, and this is going to sound like some conspiracy theory type bullshit, but do you think that channels that lean more towards the left politically would be less affected by the sub glitch?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that something like that were to happen, right? I mean, we know where the political leanings of YouTube lies. I mean, they proved it over and over. But I'm not exactly sure if that always has what to do with it. Look, the biggest person that everybody's talking about and the biggest point that Keemstar even made was Leafy. Leafy had what, close to 5 million subs at his peak, and he was growing at an exponential rate. Like the only other guy that's even comparable as far as growth and the type of numbers that he was growing at was goddamn PewDiePie. You know, that's it. Leafy was on that type of trajectory, and we don't know if that would have maintained or if people would have eventually got sick of it. Now, a whole lot of things happened that hammered him and led to his downfall. But we're talking almost a year later, and this dude's still losing thousands of subs, sometimes daily, and it seems a tad odd. But does it really? He had so many, and this goes back to that whole ugliest girl at the party situation. Once everybody starts to accept the fact that you're a loser or that you're not cool anymore, the unsubs are just going to become a natural progression because nobody wants to be a part of it anymore. So, and he had so many subs that maybe for a while, 5, 6, 4, 7, 10,000 is the normal loss. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. I have no idea, but I'm not exactly sure that it has something to do with them trying to take him down. I'm not saying that it's not either. It's a very weird situation, but I don't think that you're far off with that being something that people could think about. And it's, again, another reason why YouTube should be informing their users of policy changes. Certainly not lying, going on a fucking YouTube show and to some fucking terrible host who gave you softball questions and straight up lying about there's no problems, no one's being unsubbed, when clearly there are. Because that's what they did. They went and lied to everybody. Yeah. There's nothing going on. Well, fuck yeah, there is. And now if there's hard evidence to the contrary that there is something going on, now we even have a deeper problem. I don't know.
We need a YouTube union. That'll help solve the problem.
Yes, YouTube. We can't even like talk to each other in a reasonable, decent.
Well, yeah, let alone get together and try to fix the YouTube problems. Yeah.
Can you imagine us trying, like, Keemstar as union chief? Could you just imagine these type of things?
Oh my god!
Speaking of the DJ Gnome Star, what did you think of his reporting on this? What did you feel about him specifically with this video? Because I got I got a few things that I want.
Hashtag good guy Keem. Yet again, here is Keem trying to portray himself as the hero when in all reality he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. This would be like a news anchor who got a scoop going on and being like, oh man, I'm fucking Superman, Jesus Christ, yo. Like he has a Christ complex and he will take whatever story he can get, twist it to make himself look good. It doesn't matter what it is.
He tried to be Walter Cronkite and he came off as,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know you don't. Jesus Christ. He came off as Walter Cuntkite. You know, that's more of what he came off. Look, I don't even think that what he necessarily did in the video was all that bad, but he definitely came off as preachy and grandiose and all of that stuff. But I can't even say that was his intent, because parts of that video, especially towards the end where he is urging everybody to talk about this and get the hashtag going, yeah, that could be for his own gain, but it could also, I mean, look, the guy has garnered a reputation. He's garnered a reputation that he's going to have to live with, where he is simply never going to get the benefit of the doubt, even in some cases where maybe he deserves it. Doesn't matter. He has a reputation as a cunt. He has a reputation as a stone cold, career-killing fucking cunt. Whether or not any of that.
Well, he almost fixed it and then fucked it up again.
Whether or not any of that's true is irrelevant, because that is the reputation that he has garnered, right? So when he does something that even does look mildly altruistic or benevolent, you know, it's not going to get received that way. It's going to, douchebags like me are going to make jokes about how he came off, because that is the accepted reality of his reputation. And he's got no one to blame for that but himself.
But himself.
No one. So it's an interesting one. Old School Matt says if YouTubers need a union rep, it should be Phil DeFranco. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that.
No.
like
we need
Phil.
someone who will actually, fight for a cause and not just pander to everybody and suck his fans off.
He's
ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Fair. Why? Because he's fair? Look, if you watch his stuff enough, he lets his leanings out fairly often, man. But he tries to stay fair because he tries to be right, not doing anything.
He'll let his feelings out, and then he'll get back to sucking his fans' dicks.
I don't know about sucking his fans' dick. Speaking of sucking their fans' dick, let me go ahead and give everybody a shout out in the chat. Tom C.
That was actually probably the best transition you have ever done.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Yeah. Leaping Lizard, D-Rock, Poxies, Ludo Blarp is here. Real Talk to Metaphor Messiah is here. Biggie's hanging out. Carl Gibney, Rush 29, ECR, Taze, all kinds of people. Mark Parrish, Jennifer Reed. We got all kinds of people hanging around. Thank you guys very much. Hope you're having a very, very fun night. We're about to take some calls over on the Discord. So jump in, slide in, swim into my Discord. And we'll
slide into this Discord.
That's right. Slide up in there. And we'll take your calls, questions, comments, concerns, hope, dreams, quips, quotes, and all more of what you have on these two topics or anything else that you might want to talk about. Final thoughts on the age gate or the Russian Pokemon player going to prison? Anything that I may not have allowed you to get to earlier, Mr. Seaman?
Play Pokemon Go every day, no matter where it is.
I agree.
Fuck the police, I guess. Get in on that groove. And then for age gate, if it's real, I mean, pretty easy fix. If it's bullshit, which it more than likely is, then whatever. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
I have no idea if it's bullshit or not, but if it's not bullshit, it's the easiest this is one of those, Mr. Bond, I have 4,000 lasers pointed at the earth right now at one singular location, and in just mere moments, unless I get 14 trillion billion gajillion dollars, I will burn a hole straight through the center of the earth. And Bond just throws one little mirror into the one spot and deflects the fucking laser beam. Yeah, that's essentially what this is, because it's just, okay, I'm no longer 13. As Zoe Berger once said, today I'm 18. So there you go.
I thought she said today
everybody's 18, but I was taking it, I was spinning it a little bit. Thank you for.
But you were already 18, so.
Yeah, but everybody will be 18 that day. That's the joke.
Nope, didn't happen.
Yeah, it did kind of.
Nope.
I want to punch you in the
Kevin
face.
Bacon
Anyway,
Footloose.
We got a donation. Thank you very much for that. D-Rock 407 donated $1. Slap that like button. That's right, motherfuckers. Slap that.
Yeah, slap that like button, bitches. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and give it a little tap.
Little too aggressive.
Whoa, no, not like bitches, more like bitches.
No,
like,
okay.
Yo,
well, you said bitches pretty aggressively. You gotta.
Oh, sorry, I take it back. Bitches. Yeah, hit that like button.
Gotta be cool with the bitches.
Gotta have a little ooh to your voice when you talk.
That's right. Let's go ahead and take some calls. You ready to take some calls?
Oh, I'm always ready to take some calls.
You go ahead and introduce this first person. I'm bringing her in. You go ahead and welcome her to the show.
Wow. Look who it is. It is the one and only Faye. I'm surprised she called in because Detective Deckard isn't on this show right now.
He was supposed to stream at 4, but didn't show up. So
yeah, he probably knew you were going to show up, so he
I kind of thought that maybe that's why, because I sent him a creepy picture of a cat that says breathing heavily.
Is it because you finally jumped out of his closet and stabbed him with an ice pick? Did it finally happen?
Dave, in real life, he agreed to come to Toronto because he's coming to Toronto in August and September for a wedding. And he asked me if I would show him around the city.
Are you going to take him to Pound Town? Is that what?
I mean,
Pound Town, Toronto.
I don't know what he looks like. It depends how hot he is.
You know what? You could have got mad at me for asking that question, but you know what? I love this is why I love you, Faye, because you're an honest person. You're fucking real.
Oh, do not boast her.
I love Faye. She sounds cute too. She sounds cute as fuck too. I don't give a shit. Faye, what do you got for us today?
Well, you said I could call in about anything,
sure.
And I don't know if you're going to do a show on about this, but do you know about the Tron drama?
Yeah, touched on it over the last couple of shows, touched on it a little bit. There's really not a lot to talk about with it. He's out of his depth. You know, I mean, he's a video game guy who tried to get into a political realm with a SJW type guy and got kind of into a bad spot. Do I think he's a racist? No, I think he's an idiot. That's about it. He can't debate. He's just a bad debater. I mean, that's it. What do you think on it, though? That's the question.
Well, there are some things that he said that were, like just stupid. Like, why does the economy have to grow? Like, why is that important? Well, have you heard of the Great Depression?
Oh,
my one
he
friend
said
was
that
talking
shit.
about
Jesus.
this. Yeah. He said also there was no discrimination whatsoever in the Western countries.
Yeah, I know what he was trying to say. I think he was trying to go more for, in comparison to some of the other places on the planet, our problems are kind of menial in some ways and are usually not in the exact political scope that they're constantly being portrayed in the media, which I think that you can make a much stronger argument using that terminology than what he used, because it just sounds stupid, because that is really... That's polarizing. That's challenging. Yeah. And he didn't have any numbers, any facts, any figures to back anything up. All he said was, look it up. What?
Yeah.
You brought this up, you tubby bitch. Fucking defend your points. Defend your position. Don't tell me to look it up. Oh, my God.
Yeah. When he says wealthy blacks are more likely to commit crimes than poor whites.
Apparently he had facts.
We're going to need a figure.
That sounds mildly racist.
But I don't think he meant it as racist. I really don't. I think he probably read some pseudo article that had some very probably weak facts and figures, and he just kind of spouted them off. Does it sound like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt? Yes. Why? Because I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. I've never heard him say anything remotely racist in the past. I've really never known him to be a racist guy. So I don't really have a reason to think, based off these comments, that he's a racist. He's just a fucking bad debater. He just looked really bad. That's it.
Yeah.
At the end of the stream, he said, like, RIP my career.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think this is the nail in the coffin, or do you think it's going to be like Mel Gibson, where people just kind of forget?
Well, you know what? People still hate Mel Gibson pretty hard.
Yeah.
He's still making movies, though. He's still, look at Woody Allen. He's still making movies.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that are still making movies. But how popular are these said movies?
Yeah, Mel Gibson really hasn't done anything. I mean, if you notice, Lethal Weapon 5 has yet to come out, and it's just he's not making those same type of blockbusters that he once was. Man, he wasn't that old too. He's still gonna be making some great shit. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's sometimes not everybody forgives and forgets, you know, especially when you work in an industry that is, you know, maybe a little bit controlled by those who you just completely shat all over. But I don't know. Maybe
some people are saying that this backlash that he's receiving is going to change his political opinions. I disagree. What do you think?
If he's weak-minded, it will. If he's changing his political opinions just because of the backlash that he's receiving, that means he's even a worse debater and weaker-minded than I'm even giving him credit for now. If anything,
because his subreddit has totally turned against him.
Oh, sure. If anything, it should it should strengthen his beliefs. It should make him more resolute, unless he's proven unequivocally wrong. And once again, I hope I used that word correctly. I don't know if I did.
Just quit using the word if you don't know if you're using it right.
I can't. It's in there. It just comes out.
It just sounds like gibberish at this point. You're like, I'm going to get it wrong. And
well, unequivocally. Is it unequivocally or unequivocally? Because I think I'm using.
You're going to make it a meme. You're going to make it a meme.
You don't know either, motherfucker. That's why you're not answering my question.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't use it.
It's
you know,
unequivocally.
If I don't know a word, I won't use it.
Well, you know what?
Then look it up.
I'm close enough. I don't want to look it up. I just want to be right. I don't want to
Stop telling him to Google things, John.
Tell me to look it up.
Oh,
you
yeah,
look it
up. Spell it for me. Go ahead.
Hold on. You know what? Now
spell it for me. It has to be done right now, live.
I'm gonna Google it. Okay, I'm gonna Google it.
Do you know how to spell it?
Okay, unequivocally. Unequivocally. Now I will never put the B in there ever again. Unequivocally, and it means in a way that leaves no doubt. So you know the word I was using it correctly. I was just saying it wrong because
but that's like saying
I've had a lot of concussions. Leave me alone. Lots of concussions.
Excuses.
Fuck,
Excuses.
have you been to Iraq?
Oh,
Come
you been
on.
there
You
to your
can't pull
parents'
that card.
I certainly can because I suffered 6 concussions in Iraq. Have you been to
I'm
Iraq?
just fucking with you. Don't make me the bad guy.
You haven't. I'm
You're
a
the bad guy,
fucking
Seaman.
soldier.
Yeah,
No
but I had a
doubt.
pretty wild snowball fight the other day. so-
Yeah, I'm sure you had a snowball fight, but there was no precipitation in the air, if you know what I'm saying. The other type of snowball.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
snowballing. Yeah, dude,
Yes,
I
he
love
was.
snowballing.
and a
Yeah.
huge issue. To give us back on topic, Seaman.
Oh, get over it.
John Tron said, "What is so offensive about white people saying they'd like to preserve their demographic majority?"
Who are you? Did you ask that to Seaman or me?
It's the floor is open. What would you like to say about that? Because this is a quote that's going around that people are really upset about specifically.
Seaman?
I don't think, again, it's one of those things where I think he phrased his thoughts wrong. I think what he was trying to say is that some white people would like to keep their heritage, as I am sure there are members of other racial groups that would like to keep their heritage. It's
Oh, so
He
you
just-
hate interracial marriages?
no, not at all.
What the
I'm just
fuck?
saying.
You
But
racist.
Okay, what I
But the
said.
thing is, no. But the thing is, there are some people that are still to this day not completely for interracial relationships.
Yeah, my grandma's like that.
You know, I mean, there's
Yeah,
still
but it
part of-
takes time when you grow up in a society where the norm is the norm and then it changes. It takes time for the people from that group to weed out.
Sure.
And
Yeah, it's called
You mean
Death.
like they're just gonna die out?
Exactly.
that's
yeah.
well, eventually, yeah, because when we keep changing the norm, then it's going to be more progressive, as the SJWs like to say, and you just got to give it
Progressive.
time.
You can't use the word progressive without being an SJW now, according to Seaman. You heard it here first, folks. Come on.
Look, the
Okay, I said
reality
as
is-
the SJWs like to say. I didn't say everybody that uses the word is an SJW.
it really,
He's so easily triggered.
He
Dave.
really is. It's kind of
Because you're so easily annoying.
He really,
Hey.
Faye, don't ever go anywhere near Pittsburgh because I could tell he really wants to have the sex with you.
Oh yeah,
Like a lot.
yeah.
You could tell he is.
I really want to make a mean joke, but I'm not going to.
No, I can feel it. I can feel it. He has some sexual frustration. Dubious donated $1. Mel Gibson, in my opinion, has paid his dues. He might not act anymore, but he's still amazing director. Hashtag Cornetto. Fair enough. Fair enough. See, for you, that was enough. Man, it's over. So that's nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, I'm gonna let the other beautiful people waiting talk to you guys.
All right, Faye, you have yourself a good one.
Have a
Take it
wonderful
easy,
night.
Dave.
Bye.
You know, the
Peace.
interesting thing is, when you're talking about progressivism and all these type of isms and new states of idealism and how everybody should be equally treated and everything, yes, that's how things should be. But people
Yeah.
are bad. People,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
There's always going to be prejudices inside of human beings. You're going to look at somebody who's different than you, and you're always going to kind of look at them a little bit differently at times, depending on the situation. It doesn't necessarily, that's not the same as hating somebody for having different skin color or being from a different country or having a different faith than you. It's not the same. Looking at somebody cockeyed and questioning what they're doing is not the same as hatred. And that's where liberalism is really spiral out of control. Because now, if you simply disagree with any minority or any type of progressive thought process, whether it be transgender or different types of religions or sexuality or whatever the case may be, you hate them, even if that's not your intention.
Which is fucked because I know of Christians that, okay, because of their biblical beliefs, they don't agree with transgenderism, homosexual relationships, all that. But they don't state that they hate these people. They just say, okay, I disagree with this subject and move on. And that's where the left right now, they don't know how to move on.
No, because they want control. They want to control.
Exactly.
They want to control the thought that is going on so everyone thinks the same as them. They don't want you to think differently. They want you to be so fucking scared of being called a racist, a misogynist, a hate monger, a fear monger, which is a funny goddamn thing considering all the fear mongering is really coming from their fucking side. But they want you to be so afraid of it that you're going to agree with them.
See, I wonder if like these extreme. Oh my God! Knock it the fuck
I
off.
said it right. God damn it! Leave me alone.
Okay, but this is like the this
like
is the best thing I've ever been a part of.
You're talking
where
to a
you're
guy
just
who brought copious back, man. I like words.
Oh, will you move on? Like
No.
you keep bringing that up almost every show. I made copious trend on Twitter.
I think I brought it. This is the second time I brought it up. I believe.
In the past 24 hours.
Because you tried to get all hard and talk about creaming and semen.
I'm always hard. I'm always hard. That's my secret.
That's not what Faye told me. Boom.
How would Faye know?
You guys are gonna make beautiful babies one day.
Only because I'm one of the parents. Otherwise. No, I don't want Deckard's fangirl. Sorry. And that's the tame version of that joke.
You want to get some more calls?
Yeah, man, bring them in.
Let's take some more people. We're gonna stay with the female persuasion, Kirsty Graham, mainly because she's here closer to where I am. No, geographically, I know how late it is, so I'm thinking
she left.
She left. What the fuck, Kirsty?
Yeah, that's why I was laughing.
We're gonna try it again. Kirsty Graham, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Hello.
What do you got for us, lovely? You're live with Dead on Dave and C-Man.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk about both topics that you had brought up, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you. The guy who done the Pokemon thing, it's stupid. Because there's been people killed in Russia who have disagreed with the government. Like it's not a safe thing to do. But I do kind of stand by my point where there's only so much that like humans are naturally, like if somebody disagrees with you, it's a natural reaction to try and do something back.
Sure.
And in the social media age, it is going to be social media where things really like arguments take place and things are put forward. So like YouTube's obviously going to be part of that.
Sure.
But I haven't seen the video or anything, so I don't know. Like you said, that's not what he was intended to do.
It didn't really seem to be the intent of it. I gotta be honest. What I watched of it didn't really seem to be the intent of the video. It seemed to be like a lot of these pranksters or just people who want to incite just for the sake of inciting. That's more what it felt like. My problem with the entire thing is we live in a world right now where it seems like we have our problems in America, in the Western world. You know, we have our problems with oppression in certain respects. But when you look at other places like Russia, where there is serious, actual, everyday oppression going on for the entire population, and it goes ignored. You have in the Middle East, man, I don't know what's going on. Someone in the background is talking. I don't know who it is. But
yeah, sorry, no, my
that was you. Okay, no worries.
Yeah, way to blame me, you
well,
fucking.
It sounded like you in the background.
You know what?
Anyway,
you know what? I kick all my family off the internet just to make sure that my connection is
good
good enough.
Shut up. Here, I'm making
a
point. I'm kicking you up as I'm making a point. Okay. You have parts of the Middle East where people are not even standing up for what they believe in. Simply just having a different ideology is enough to have motherfuckers come through and chop off heads. There is real oppression and real murdering going on over these rights. So when you live in one of these areas where you know that this is the law of the land, whether you like it or not, even if you want to protest, there are ways to do it to not put yourself at such risk and not do it in such a firestorm type way. He went to a historically significant location to his country's history and went against one of the...
Can I ask what it was? Sorry,
it was the church where the last Tsar, I believe Nicholas II, died. So it had some significance anyway, politically. So that's where he decided to pull this stunt. And when you do that, I don't want to say he's asking for it, but you're kind of asking for it.
But you kind of are, like, because when you were talking about it, the way I seen it was that this had been like a political / like religious like point that he was putting it on the internet to be like, this is wrong and this is the only way I can stand up for it. But if he's just doing it to be a shit, then why even bother to be a shit if you've not got a political point to be making? Why even put yourself in that situation again? Because
you know why? You know, people realize that even if they don't mean to be political, or if that wasn't ever their intention, they know there are groups out there human rights groups that will defend them for free, just like he is being defended right now, I believe, by Amnesty International, if I got my facts right on that. That will do that for him. That will make his case for him, even if he never believed that. So it's kind of one of those things, man. Luna Blarp says, Russians don't mind the oppression. They're fucked on subsidized vodka. Good point. Luna Blarp says, Dave, he's buried there. He didn't die there. Well, the article got it wrong. The article got it wrong then. The article said that he died there. So if he was only buried there, I stand corrected.
Still, it's a historical place. Like,
it still has historical significance. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate that. See, man, I had to throw you out for a second because I was trying to make a point, but I still love you. Don't cry.
See, I don't know if I want to talk now because you might silence me again, you damn liberal.
Oh, you mean kind of like
damn
this?
Extreme leftist.
You mean kind of like that? All right. See, I had to throw him out again. He was being a little baby. He's being a little baby. I had to get rid of him. I can't deal with it, man. I can't deal with it. Kirsty, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, I was going to ask as well, do you think the whole YouTube thing, because I've got it as well, I've had to resub to you about 4 times, even though I've never wanted to unsub from you, and
How old
other
are you?
people as well. I'm 23, so it shouldn't be happening, but
Shouldn't be a
I've
problem.
everybody's been seeing this glitch lately where it's like loads of people. I think I was like 200 channels I was subbed to, and last week I went on and I only had 50 for no reason, just out of the blue. I had been unsubbed for different people, and I was like, wait, what? Why?
It shouldn't have affected you, but so it's kind of weird, right? And it's like,
yeah. But do you think this is to do with a while back we had been saying that like mothers had been like complaining that YouTube made their like children burn their hands and whatever else? Do you think this is YouTube's way of trying to like cover their asses on that side, that if the kids are going against the terms and conditions and lying about their age and whatever, which most, like as a kid I done it all the time, I'd constantly say I was 18 so that I had like access to like certain shows on like BBC iPlayer and stuff. Like kids will do it, that's just, it's so easy to do. But do you think this is just YouTube trying to cover their ass that way?
I think that there's a possibility, but again, it's such a stupid way of doing it, because not only are you lying to your users, your creators, but you're also putting in a plan in motion that can so easily be circumvented. It's so easy to get around it. So I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I mean, I think personally, like when you had said about, because I don't watch Keemstar or anything, but when you had said that, that was the first thing I thought of. And but also, do you think that if YouTube does start doing this with Twitch bringing in their like real life side of things, that more people who necessarily aren't gamers will switch over to Twitch?
Yes, as long as Twitch gets their stick out of their ass. If you think YouTube's got a stick
Twitch
up
is
their
worse.
ass,
Twitch is worse than YouTube.
woo! You can't do nothing on Twitch, son. I mean, damn.
Well, that's meant to be the is meant to be the thing, is once they bring in this like real life side of Twitch, it will kind of go back to almost when it was like Justin TV, where you can stream anything that you want. And like, do you think with YouTube putting this in that like more people will jump if they get their, as you said, their stick out of their ass? Because there's also the possibility to be making like money off subs and stuff.
I think you're going to see more people go over to places like Twitch. And honestly, there's only one other entity on the planet that I feel that has the infrastructure in place to be able to do what YouTube essentially does on the same scale. It might be funny, but you're already seeing people go to them. YouPorn. YouPorn has the infrastructure in place to handle it. It's essentially the exact, if you look at the site, it's essentially the same thing as YouTube. I mean, it in a lot of ways, it's eerily similar. So don't be shocked if they get on the train somewhere down the line. And the reality is, a lot of people already are leaving, not only creators, but viewers. You know, so for people thinking that these policy changes and these shady tactics and like what C-Man was talking about earlier with the political leaning don't matter, well, why are the views going down? It can't all just be because we make shit content. There's so much choice out there. That only becomes an excuse for so long. Well, make better content, more people will watch. Well, not necessarily. And that's part of the double-edged sword too. Because if they continue to alienate their creators, the people who are making the content that are bringing people to their platform, if they continue to alienate them, yeah, there are other creators who are ready, willing, and able to step up and take their place, but their content may and more likely will not be as good as the previous people before them. So that is even less likely to bring in viewers. So it continues to lose and lose. And if YouTube starts being more of a liability to Google to start, because they're almost operating at a profit, but they're still operating at a loss. But if it's not by much, they're almost at a break-even point. But if that margin becomes huge and substantial, we're talking losing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Well, no, the influence isn't going to be enough to offset it, because there's not going to be any more influence. They all left. Yeah. Nobody wants to make content here. So it's a very self-defeating thing if this is in fact happening the way that it's being presented.
I mean, for me, I used to mostly watch my gaming stuff on YouTube, but even personally for me, I've started watching Twitch a lot more for gaming than I have for YouTube. Like, I come to YouTube mostly for my wrestling stuff and for like specific content creators that I like. But I found myself more and more going to Twitch, and when you said that, I was like, I wonder if once the real life thing, can't remember the name of it, but once the IRL version of it comes in, if more people will end up just jumping over, because like for you, for instance, I know you loved YouTube and like you think it's great, but if they really did start hammering
it works for me because it's easy. And I'm stubborn. You know how long it took me to get to YouTube? Is I was like so stubborn. Like I have a Twitch account. I do. I have a Twitch channel. I never use it, but it exists.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, because you stream like this, it would be so easy for you to just move over and log on to a different site rather than using YouTube. So I do
a lot of stuff that would get me banned on Twitch that will not get me banned on YouTube. It does worry me. We'll see what happens with it. There's still a lot of reasons to stay at the moment. I'm not one of these people who firmly believes that the sky is falling, even though me myself am currently losing subs, and I can't tell you why. Every time I go over 8,200, I lose more subs. I could not tell you why. It's fucking bizarre. It really is. My views aren't fantastic. They are for some stuff, but not as much for others as they were a few weeks ago. The Catch 33 hoopla has kind of died down, at least for me personally. But that's okay. You know, that's the ebbs and flows of YouTube, and I can completely deal with that. It's not enough yet to make me want to jump ship, but if the shady practices and this type of circumventing continue, if I can't trust who I'm working for, I'm certainly not going to work with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree there. But I'll let you get to other callers. Thanks for answering everything for me tonight.
No problem. Fantastic call as always, Miss Kirsty.
No problem. See you later, dude.
See you later. I want to give a correction to the correction. This is the article that Luna Blarp herself sent me. She corrected me on the Tsar Nicholas II thing, and this is exactly from her article that she sent me. But the Russian Orthodox Church accused him of blasphemy after playing the game in a church built on the supposed spot where the family of the last Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, was killed. Okay, after reading it out loud, it doesn't say that he was killed there. It said his family was killed there. So correction to the correction to my correction. I'm an idiot. So there you go.
That's what I was trying to say, but you keep throwing me out anytime you disagree.
No, I keep throwing you out when you become a pretentious douchebag.
Oh, name one instance where I'm a pretentious douchebag.
Right there, by asking such an obvious question. Obvious. You know the answer. You don't need me. Look it up. Look it up.
Ow, dude. I think you're bullying me now. I think it's gone past the point of jokes.
Here, let me help you. I don't ever want to be accused
No,
of
don't do it
bullying,
again. Please don't.
Oh, it's so much fun throwing him out. Oh my God. Okay. The wife says that I should stop being mean to you.
Yeah, knock it off.
There's Pittsburgh boy in the chat. How you doing, Pittsburgh? Here, take a time out.
Yeah, you're treating me like I'm Pittsburgh boy.
I just gave him a timeout. Fucking
okay.
Hold your water there, Nancy.
Fine. I guess I'll just do what you do with bigger YouTubers and compliment them the whole time.
Oh, that's what I do. I didn't just
Dave,
I didn't just call Keemstar. I didn't just call Keemstar Walter Cronkcunt.
Yeah, but
I
it's
didn't do that.
Keemstar. Even the guys that like him don't actually like him.
I just called fucking John Tron a goddamn moron. I call people. What are you talking about? That's fucking.
What
You
are
know
you
what? You know
talking
what you're
about?
getting? Here you go. Here's what you're
Stop.
getting. No, that's what you're getting. Don't incite. Don't poke the bear. Let's bring in Guncannon, my good buddy and graphics designer, right here on 10 on Day Productions. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, the toss in between Seaman and Pittsburgh, boy.
He just keeps going,
makes me forget about snow for a little while.
Yeah, I know you're in Snowmageddon up there, man. Are you alive? Are you okay? Do you have provisions?
I have provisions. I have everything that I could possibly need. You know,
Now,
bread,
my big
eggs,
question
and
is-
milk.
my big
Everything
question
you
is,
could ask for.
Is that cookie company still delivering? You know, that crazy cookie place that delivers, are they still
Oh
delivering?
my god, I don't know. That's a good question.
Do something dickish and just order a lot of fucking takeout. See what happens. See who shows up. Offer medals for those who brave the storm.
That'd be. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that now. God,
No, that's
damn.
evil. Don't do that. What do you got for us, Mr. Guncannon?
Well, I've been listening to, you know, the I went back and I read a little bit on the Russian League. I didn't know about the Tsar Nicholas thing, so that's an interesting.
Even if it's even with just being just a family, it still holds historical significance. The point still holds true. So, you know,
it's considered a holy site then by the Russian Orthodox Church, and
sure.
let's be honest, you hit it right on the head. It's Russia, whatever they deem as a law, and they work very closely with the Russian Orthodox Church. They're going to enforce that law. This is a country that probably for menial shit that was even less than Pokemon Go, they've probably sent people north to drink jet fuel. So,
yeah, that was their punishment. They had to go north and drink jet fuel.
That sounds about right.
That's what we need to start doing, man.
Go to Siberia and drink yak piss. That's what you have to do. Yak piss in Siberia. That'll get you thinking. Seaman, welcome back, by the way.
Oh yeah, thanks for the fourth time now.
Yeah, well,
oh, you're still alive.
Are we asking for a fifth?
fantastic.
It sounds like we're asking for a fifth.
No, I'm not asking for a fifth.
All right,
I'm asking you to stop being a douche.
All right, pipe down there, Molly. I hate to have to put you back on timeout. All right. I'm gonna need you to calm down. I'm gonna need you to pump the brakes there, Susan.
All right, I'm calm.
All right, good stuff. Guncat, what else you got for us?
The YouTube thing. I've been thinking about that a lot after listening to Keemstar talk about that, and it does have its points where it makes sense, but it does have its points where it doesn't. Absolutely, it makes no sense at all.
The plan is so easily defeated. Like, this is YouTube.
Yeah.
They're taking such a risk by alienating from their users, and you would think it would be like an actual good plan, but it's so easily circumvented.
It's literally as soon as they come out with the video and says, yes, this has been our plan the whole time. It's Operation Change the Last Number and your fucking age. Jesus Christ.
It's over. Oh my God.
I mean, and going off of what the last caller had said about, you know, Twitch being just as bad, if not worse. I stream on Twitch. I completely understand that. I know, what was it the other day? Tommy did his Sunday show on there, and he had Real Talk on, and I sat there going, "Wow, that might go bad."
Yeah.
But it went well. So, I mean, if YouTube does go down this path and they try to do that, it's going to be a very, very tiny pothole in the road of people just cheating the system again.
Yeah, people want to talk about the ins and outs and the policy of what the age restrictions and the age categorizing, which is actually what's happening here, and the possible legality of that. I've heard a couple people bring up the possible legality of it. I don't think it really applies because it's not data mining, and that's the only thing that they're concerned about when it comes to protecting children. But people are talking about that, and I don't think that that's the main issue, because the plan is so stupid that it really doesn't matter. It's really about the practices of deceiving and lying to and circumventing and using shadow tactics to work against your creators. Because that's the bigger story to me. If this is true, they are working against their content creators. And I know they've been accused of it in the past, and I know there's been instances where it's happened, but this would be the biggest violation of that trust. By far, to date, this would be the biggest example. This would be the most polarizing, and it would potentially be the most damaging to that relationship between content creator and YouTube. Because they are, if it's true, that they are willingly and knowingly and fucking underhandedly taking tens, hundreds, thousands, sometimes tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers away from YouTubers without their knowledge, and letting them have the ability to change their content to get in proper parameters of the new agenda. Even if they want to or not, at least they'd be making a choice then. That is wrong. Yeah. And that's the bigger story to me.
And I think the thing that would really kind of set that off is just seeing one big YouTuber come on, make a video, and then just pull everything. Yeah. And I have a distinct feeling I know who that YouTuber would be. It'd be PewDiePie.
Yeah.
To watch, just to have them come out with that and find out how that they've been lying this much to, you know, all the content creators, having somebody that big go on and go, well, guess what? Fuck you, I'm taking my shit elsewhere. Yeah. Close the channel, pull all of this stuff.
You know,
yeah, but do you think PewDiePie will actually do that? Because that'd be sort of like John Cena with WWE saying, okay, fuck you guys, I'm peacing out. His whole image is YouTube. So I don't know if he would do that or not.
There's two sides to that. You know, PewDiePie has had opportunities recently to make statements to kind of shake up the order of YouTube when he was going to delete his own channel, and then he bitched out of that and all of that stuff. Things that he could have done to kind of shaken up the world order. Because the reality is, yeah, he has 53 million subs, but we all know that's not the actual number. A lot of those subs are dead, and that's just a reality. But still, even that being, he would have created a new channel, and almost within a week, he probably would have had 25 million subs. You know, I mean, so it wouldn't have really hurt him to do such a thing, but he didn't do it. And that told me how loyal he still is to YouTube. Now, on the other side of that, with what YouTube did to him recently with canceling the second season of Scare PewDiePie and those type of things, and you also add into the fact that PewDiePie is either at or he's damn close to go fuck yourself money, to where he's got so much money saved up where he could basically tell everybody to eat a cock sandwich and never have to worry again. The likelihood of him doing something like that in the future gets more and more probable.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I see it at this point. He did the whole thing initially with, you know, I'm gonna, you know, shut my channel down, and then all this shit started happening, and he might be closer than we think. I feel like he might be closer than we think.
He could be, because he's got that type of money. See, man, you think that Mr. PewDiePie is gonna tell everyone to go fuck off real soon?
No, I honestly don't. I can't see it happening with him being who he is. He is the poster boy, and even if people already have a shit ton of money, usually those same people still like making more money. So,
well, let me propose this to you, though. PewDiePie has stated a lot of times that he still does this no longer for money, because he's set. He has said this before. It's about him wanting to create content. Well, if that's the case, PewDiePie's got the reputation, the numbers, and money, and allies within the community, especially.
But again,
hold on, wait. To have everyone rally around him, that he could create a new platform if he wanted to. Wouldn't something like that, where he would be his own boss from here on out, wouldn't that something that might be appetizing for the guy who's looking for the next challenge? He's entering the end of his 20s to his 30s. Progressively in a human's life, they start, especially when they're successful at a young age and have that type of money, the only thing you want to do is go higher and look for the next challenge. Do you think it's possible that he could be looking for that at some point? Because I find that
I think it's wishful thinking, especially if it's based off of him saying that he wants to, you know, keep evolving and shit. Because, I mean, obviously, there is some proof in the pudding. He has changed his content over time. But to do that dramatic of a shift in the position he is in, YouTube would really have to fuck him sideways for him to do something like that.
You might make the argument that they already have. You know, they didn't back him in something that hurt him more than anything that has ever hurt him in his time on YouTube. When the media attacked him in the way that they did, and YouTube didn't make a statement and say, no, our guy is not a Nazi, our Captain YouTube, our Mr. YouTube, our John Cena is not a Nazi. Not one statement was uttered by YouTube in that tone. That could hurt somebody. That could hurt him.
Yeah, but he only responded with a middle finger and not a call to arms.
Very true. But
that's where I don't see it happening. I really don't.
This type of thing that comes out where he were to find out that all the people that he has claimed to care about, the people who have not made it yet, are getting fucked secretly by YouTube, that could be the final straw that makes him go to that next level. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to. I'm saying enough shit has happened to where he's in that perfect fucking storm of circumstances, having the money, the aggravation, the just getting to that age where wanting to challenge yourself in a different direction. All of these things are coming, and then you put that little extra topping of where you're finding out just how scummy fucks and terrible people that they truly are at YouTube, that they will fuck over their entire workforce without telling them. That might be the final straw.
Well, I think once we find out if what Keemstar said is true or not, that would be the time to make predictions on what will happen. Because as of now,
it's still a rumor.
Yeah, but as of now, it's still just like, okay, we're basing a prediction off of another prediction, and it's just kind of going in circles.
And as Keem said at the beginning of that video, it's a rumor. He was, and I'll give him that credit. He said it was a rumor. It
legally,
wasn't.
He had to say that. He
had to legally, because had he not, he'd be fucked.
Sued to fucking oblivion. I mean, I have never heard Keem be so clear on what a story was before. The first minute was just about, this is a rumor. And he almost defined rumor. I mean, like, he was making it very clear what this was, because he knew. Yeah. He knew this was big boy stuff. Because look, I'll give him credit for that. What he did, that's a straight fucking balls move, man. Now, you're always going to question the motivations. Was he doing it for himself? And again, this is because of the reputation that he has cultivated for himself. Once again, no one to blame but himself for that. But you got to give him credit for having a fucking nutsack the size of Oklahoma. My God.
Yeah, because it's still very volatile, because if it comes out wrong, he will eat crow if it comes out wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom line. But if it comes out right, holy shit.
If he got this wrong, if he got the story wrong, I mean, credibility-wise, there might not be coming back. There might not be any coming back credibility-wise. If he got this story super, unbelievably, undeniably wrong, there may not be coming back from it. Very possible.
Well, either way, when we find out if this is true or not, I think there's going to be a big thing going down.
A mighty reckoning, no question. Guncannon,
it'll be interesting to see.
I'm sorry, C-Man, go ahead.
I was just saying it's going to be interesting to see. You know what I mean?
It's the YouTube rapture, folks.
It's the end of days. The rapture, people. Everybody take my hands as we go ahead and we pray into the light. We know those demons are coming. We know the Satan is coming for our souls. We know that the wolves of us who have been true to the almighty YouTube will be taken into their light and majesty and brought to that place, that heaven, as we know, has Thug Mansion in the sky. Can I get an amen?
Damn, not only do you look like Bray Wyatt, but you sound like him now too.
Bray Wyatt's a little bit, I can do a Bray Wyatt, but that was just my preacher. I love my preacher.
Well, let's just remember the first rapture, we were saved by Macho Man Randy Savage sacrificing himself. So who knows what's gonna happen with this?
Tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Oh yeah, dig it. Come
Damn,
on.
Guncannon's got a good Randy Savage.
Yeah. Damn, actually, that was my Randy Savage.
No, I was talking about the one he did.
Do it, Gun.
The Tower of Power.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah is better, but I think you're
Listen to me, C-Man, the Macho Man says this, yeah, he's the man with no equal, yeah, dig, yeah. Yeah. All right, Guncannon, you got anything else for us, brother?
No, I think that's all I got for today, guys.
All right, buddy, take it easy.
all right. Take it easy, man.
Make sure if you guys are getting some graphics done, you go to Guncannon. Iron Knight Graphics, all of his information, including his email, is in the description box. Go check him out if you need something done for your up-and-coming YouTube channel. He does great work. I stand by him. He's great. Let's bring in what I think will be our final caller of the night.
You brought in Guncannon again.
I did bring in Guncannon again. Bye, Guncannon. I'm sorry. I love you, but not that much. Let's bring in old school Matt. What's going on? Thank you for being patient, Mr. Matty. What do you got for us? Oh, fuck you. I was
Come on, Matt. Don't blow it.
I was rewarding him for his patience. Oh, my God. All right. Sorry, Matt. I love you. C-Man, final thoughts go to you, my friend, as is becoming the tradition here on the show. Final thoughts, anything you have to say to kind of tie everything up in a nice little pretty bow? Go ahead, my friend.
Russia needs to knock it the fuck off. Play Pokemon every day.
That's right.
Age gate, it's going to be a big thing. We're going to find out here soon what's going down. And if you ain't creaming, you ain't seeming.
There you go. It doesn't really get more. I'm starting to embrace the whole thing. I'm just like, I can't stop it, you know? So I
it's going to happen. It's a thing now. It's already a thing.
I'm starting to realize that this rape of my soul is going to happen, whether I consent or not. So I might as well try to get back.
Dramatic much.
I might as well just sit back and take it and moan and maybe climax.
You call
myself.
Me a pretentious douche,
whatever,
but you just said
man.
rape of my soul.
I
That
mean,
sounds like a
pretentious.
fucking Rush song.
No, yeah.
And the
Raping into my soul in the moments, raping of my soul all day long. I'm sorry, I can't do a good lead. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us right here on Dead on Day Productions. If you want to hang out, I'm going to go into the Discord for a few mementos after the show into one of the voice chats on my Hangouts. So if you want to come in there and bullshit with me, please feel free to do so in my Discord. And other than that, we're going to get up out of here. So thank you very much for joining us right here on Dead on Day Productions. This was Dead on Dave Live. Tomorrow, I will be doing a Raw versus SmackDown review battle because I got a lot to say about last night's Monday Night Raw. I fucking loved it. I'm going to tell you all the reasons.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's the best Raw I've seen in a long, long time. Really, really good Raw. I'm thinking SmackDown's going to be very good as well. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why tomorrow during the review battle, so make sure you're there for that. Other than that, make sure you check out my good co-host here, C-Man, over at C-Man All Over on the Twitters. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for joining us. Keep it copious, folks. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. See you next time. And peace unequivocally.
Peace. Oh, Jesus.